Vanakkam and welcome you all to G Square presents the third edition of its flagship initiative, G Square Coimbatore Unlimited 3.0, powered by the Hindu and supported by the Fiki. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? അടിപൊളിയായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ചേർന്ന് ഒരുമിച്ച് കൈനടി നൽകാം ഫോർ എ വെരി ഓൺ ഹിന്ദു ഫിക്കി ആൻഡ് ജി സ്ക്വയർ. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു, എല്ലാവരും കൈയടിക്കാം, ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് അടിക്കാം. എന്തിനാ ഈ കുറച്ച് മലയാളം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ബിക്കോസ് ദ ഇവൻറ്റ് ഇസ് ഹിയർ ഇൻ ആർ ദൈവത്തിൻ്റെ സ്വന്തം നാടായ കൊച്ചിയിലായതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ കുറച്ച് മലയാളം. ആൻഡ് നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും നല്ല ഉന്മേഷമുള്ള ആൾക്കാരല്ലേ, സോ ഐ വോണ്ട് ദാറ്റ് ബ്രിസ്ക് ആൻഡ് എനർജറ്റിക് ക്രൗഡ്. എല്ലാവരും ഒന്നുകൂടി നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരുമിച്ച് വണ്ടർഫുള്ളായിട്ട് ഹാൻഡ് ക്ലാപ്സ് ചെയ്യാം. അടിപൊളി, അതല്ലേ കൊച്ചി. താങ്ക് യു. After two highly successful editions, we are excited to bring this landmark event back to the city that continues to redefine growth and innovation, and that's Coimbatore. Before we move ahead, allow me to take a moment to share something we're incredibly proud of. Last season, G Square, in partnership with the Hindu, was honored with a prestigious international recognition, the INMA Global Media Award. Kainadi nalgam? Yes. For those who may not be familiar with the INMA Awards, this was hosted by the International News Media Association that celebrates the world's best and real-world results. Our campaign stood out on a global stage, not just for its creativity and reach, but for how powerfully it connected with the audience and elevated the conversation around smart urban development. This award is a testament to the strength of meaningful collaboration, the boldness of fresh ideas, and the belief that when media and enterprise work together with purpose, the impact is unstoppable. So tonight, as we launch G Square Coimbatore Unlimited 3.0, powered by the Hindu, we carry forward the same spirit of excellence, partnership, and vision. Let's give a big round of applause for this wonderful and proud achievement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. This platform is designed to spotlight Coimbatore's Kovaipudur, a promising investment destination. As South India's real estate and investment landscape expands, Kovaipudur, Coimbatore's serene and strategic suburb, is emerging as a gateway to transformative growth. With its lush surroundings, temperative climate, and increasing connectivity, Kovaipudur is being reimagined as a smart, sustainable urban destination. In this exclusive Kochi edition, we bring the conversations to investors, entrepreneurs, and decision makers from Kerala who are increasingly looking beyond traditional markets for value-driven opportunities. Kovaipudur offers just that, a perfect blend of lifestyle, location, and long-term potential. Thank you for being with us tonight. Now, may I invite Mr. Ansari, Senior Manager, Advertisement Sales, The Hindu, for welcome address. With big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Ansari on the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Respected panelists, esteemed members of FICCI, and other valued in South India for its rich textile heritage. It is now emerging as a dynamic epicenter of technology, manufacturing, and sustainability. Hosting this edition in Kochi is symbolic of the growing synergy between two enterprising cities, both rich in culture, driven by innovation, and united by a strong spirit of collaboration. We are honored to have with us eminent panelists from diverse fields. I would like to extend a warm and formal welcome to Mr. Junaith Babu, Chief Operating Officer, G Square Group, Mr. Raaghav, CEO, A+R Architects, Ms. Sujatha, Marketing Manager, Brookfields, Mr. Balakrishna, Consulting Director, BKB Consultancy, Coimbatore. With that, I once again welcome you all. Look forward to an enlightening and forward-thinking discussion. Before concluding on behalf of Hindu, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Team Fiki for their all-hearted support. Thank you.
We now move into our first panel discussion on Coimbatore's Kovaipudur, a promising investment destination. Please join me in welcoming our panelists to stage. Our first panelist, Mr. Junaith Babu, Chief Operating Officer, G Square Group, a distinguished veteran in the corporate landscape. Mr. Junaith Babu stands as a testament to strategic foresight and unparalleled leadership. With a career spanning over 3 decades, his journey is marked by a profound commitment in innovation and operational excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Junaith Babu on stage. Our next panelist is Mr. Raaghav, CEO A+R Architects, urban planning expert, government consultant and master planner. Architect Raaghav is the visionary CEO of A+R Architects, a leading multidisciplinary design firm known for its bold, future-forward approach to architecture, urban planning, and sustainable development. With over a decade of experience across India and internationally, Raaghav has led large-scale urban projects, transforming regional landscapes and pioneering next-generation smart city models. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have Mr. Raaghav. A big round of applause for him, please. Our next panelist is Sujatha N.A., an experienced designer come retail marketing professional with over 17 years experience. In her current profile, she has conceptualized events that are collaborative, vibrant, and impactful. She has also initiated 2 outreach forums, that's Brookfields Wonder Women and Kovai Green League, to address relevant social issues. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have Sujatha, my dear friend. A big round of applause to her as well. Our next panelist is Mr. Balakrishna, an active consultant and project director with expertise in areas of planning and organizing, budgeting, and quality assurance. Extensive knowledge in operational management techniques. He has over 18 plus years of experience in the hospitality industry, right from 5-star luxury hotels to standalone restaurants and cafes. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Balakrishna. Let me welcome our moderator of the day, K. Pradeep, former senior deputy editor, The Hindu, a journalist with over 30 years of experience, now teaching journalism as a guest faculty at Sacred Heart College in Kochi, wrote on a whole spectrum of stories ranging from sports to wildlife to art, architecture, music, and travel. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a moderator of the day, K. Pradeep, on the stage? Once again, a big round of applause for our panelist and moderator for the day. Over to you, sir.
Welcome and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the esteemed panel speakers. This session on reimagining growth in Coimbatore and beyond will actually look at the growth of the city with its inherent strengths and infrastructure developments. It will also zoom in onto Kovaipudur as an emerging investment destination. As most of you all know, over the years, Coimbatore has evolved into a very important commercial and business center. With its unique blend of industrial legacy, emerging innovation hubs in the technology space, and lifestyle-driven infrastructure, Coimbatore is growing into a model for long-term investment. The city grew incorporating the areas around, and down the years, many such residential zones and small business that thrived side by side has now become a little bit overcrowded. This has necessitated in the need to push for new areas, not only to reside, but also for new commercial activities. There is now a strong case for what you call urban renewal. The demographic growth of Coimbatore and some of the areas that were developed earlier has resulted in a move to suburbanization, mainly along the rail and road corridors. Private and public sector interventions in the form of residential layouts in terms of road connectivity have served to disperse this new development. Kovaipudur is the new address. Located strategically on the Coimbatore-Kerala road and with new roads being constructed, this area will very soon be linked, offering seamless investment experience. The combination of natural beauty, because this place is often called Little Ooty, for its lovely serene location at the foot of the mighty Western Ghats, the beautiful weather, Kovaipudur offers an ideal opportunity for real estate investors and allied growth. Backed by significant infrastructure development plans, Kovaipudur is on the cusp of growth. It's poised to become one of the most sought after residential and business destinations in Coimbatore. We have a very esteemed and diverse group of speakers from various fields who know Coimbatore very well. They have seen the city grow, and they are also keenly involved in the emergence of Kovaipudur. Let's get to know more about this place, more about Coimbatore from them. Before I go there, let me just put the first question, which is going to be common to all the four. You can take your take on who's going to start off. The question is this, to all of you all together. Most of the cities in our country, they just simply expand. Very few cities really have a master plan when they expand. The question is this, how has been the growth of Coimbatore? One, and what are your visions for Kovaipudur as a planned urban space? Not to get to specifics, but in very general terms, your first thoughts on this. Yes, you can start off.
I think I'll start. See, Coimbatore, I think, firstly, Ellavarukkum Namaskaram, good evening to all. And Coimbatore, we all would have seen, and its proximity to Kochi. So we would have all seen how it has grown from a sleepy little town in 1950s. That's where the textile boom started, and it started getting the name of Manchester of South India. Then it slowly, we saw the city expanding with pump and motor making units, wetter grinders and all that. Now currently Coimbatore has 25,000 MSMEs actually. That's a very, very big number, and it's thriving on that. In early 90s, Coimbatore had its first IT park, and from then it started growing IT parks and GCC and all that. At Coimbatore, there are close to 60 GCCs which are currently running, and which has an all India share of about 5 to 6% in terms of GCC space. So we are seeing Coimbatore development being very fast, and what is driving that kind of growth in Coimbatore is firstly the connectivity of Coimbatore, all connectivity to Kerala, connectivity to Karnataka, and the airport, international airports is available 15-20 years back itself, and very quality educational institutions are available in Coimbatore, which gives a very good talent. And Coimbatore is known for its medical institutions, like you have renowned medical institutions, you have very specialty medical institutions like Ganga Hospital, Gem Hospital and all that, apart from your multi-speciality hospitals. So Coimbatore as a place is always thriving, and it has a wonderful climate and all that. So yeah, so Kovaipudur is part of that Coimbatore. So Coimbatore is already doing well, it has developed well, And it's a place with high, very good entrepreneurial spirit. Lot of entrepreneurs have come up from that area. Lot of innovations and inventions have come up from that area. So, and Kovaipudur is part of Coimbatore, and very surprisingly, we are talking about Kovaipudur getting developed now, but it's part of Coimbatore's corporation limit actually. So, some area which is part of Coimbatore city limit is going to explode in near future. So, what are the reasons why Kovaipudur is going to develop? There are many reasons. Firstly, I would say it's close to the highway which connects Kerala. So that is one major thing, and lot of development is going to happen. And currently, master plan for Coimbatore till 2041, the government has envisioned the master plan. I think Raaghav has worked very closely on that, and it has lot of things, and we are very sure Kovaipudur also will be a part of that. I think this will be my initial thoughts on Coimbatore and Kovaipudur, and once we build up this conversation, we'll be making much more points.
Thank you, Junaith. And Raaghav, it's to you now. Your initial thoughts on the subject.
Yeah, I think Junaith sir has given a very beautiful introduction about Coimbatore from transforming from textile hub to a health care hub. And now it is moving towards GCC, attracting GCC. So last week we were part of GCC conference with CIA and the industries minister. And Coimbatore has the infra to attract these GCCs from all around India. And it is part of the growth nodes in Tamil Nadu to attract investments in logistics park, and which along the Cochin to Salem bypass. So NH connects and goes through Coimbatore, and the proposed Coimbatore International Airport is along the Cochin to Salem where it makes through Neelambur. So that is where the integrated bus transit hub is also going to come. So you have the metro, which is 147 kilometer network, which connects from Ukkadam to Neelambur on the red line. So the red line is where the survey has started now, and the Ukkadam flyover is also over. So the vision is already set, the pace is already rising, and it is started to attract the next gen. So today there is an AI company opening in Coimbatore from the US, and yesterday there was a startup from Germany opening in Tidal Park. The Tidal Park 2 is already full. The LCOT has proposed the tech city, which is going to connect the western bypass, and which is 5 kilometers from Kovaipudur. You name it, it is there in Coimbatore. And the fast pace of artificial intelligence, robotics, and one unique character which when we work with bureaucrats and diplomats, they say is Coimbatore is a self-made city. And it is not, it was not backed by the, the central or the state government policies initially. It was all made by, rightly said, entrepreneurs from G.R. Naidu to PSG to, say, Krishna institutions in Kovaipudur. So they developed the infra, they have the, the framework ready. And for example, like Kovaipudur is having already the fiber network cable enabled. So these things attract investors, and one unique character like what Coimbatore is inviting, like one of my family friends from UK wants to settle down in Coimbatore, leaving the entire India, and I was amazed by looking at that they're going to retire in a few years, and they have selected Coimbatore. So the conversation was with me regarding Coimbatore having the medical tourism. You name it, you have ortho. You name it, you have baby care. You have senior citizens. So yeah, you have each and every healthcare department in Coimbatore, and they are the pioneers. For example, Ganga Hospitals in Coimbatore is one of the best in Asia, in ortho. So he recently won an Asia award as well. So that is the kind of infrastructure and services already set in place, and people are ready to adapt these new information. They absorb it even more faster than other tier 2 cities in Tamil Nadu, like namely Madurai And Salem, they take time to absorb the new kind of information. But I think Coimbatore is built by entrepreneurs which are welcoming new ideas and new technologies. And so that I think is setting the pace for, the next 15 years, what we have projected for 2041. Yeah.
Thank you, Raaghav. And you got two people here, both Sujatha and Bala, both very strong roots to Coimbatore. So I think their take on this will be quite interesting for us to listen to. So Sujatha, you can start off.
Thank you, Pradeep sir. So the very nicely said overview by Junaith sir and Raaghav here talked about the specifics. So I'm going to talk about the retail angle here. So Coimbatore is actually a very steady retail destination, the kind of growth it's had. It's very steady, and there's some very interesting things that I've observed, because I've been in retail for 18 years, and these 18 years have been a part of the retail journey for Coimbatore as well. So there's a high income group, there's a strong consumer base, strong disposable income, and cosmopolitan culture. That's pretty much an overview of Coimbatore demographics. And then traditional yet modern in terms of adaptability. Moving on, Coimbatore now is no longer a tier 2 city, it's a tier 1.5 because it's got high growth potential, and at the same time, low cost and low competition in terms of new retail or new markets emerging. Kovaipudur, very well placed, like sir pointed out, in terms of it's within the Coimbatore Corporation, and very, very well planned. I think it's in a place where it can be well planned even now, being a part of the master plan. And lot of potential for mini malls, lot of potential for shopping communities there. So I think it's very exciting to see where Coimbatore is going to grow and how Kovaipudur is going to be part of this vision.
Yeah, Bala, your dreams.
Thank you, Mr. Pradeep. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to meet you all on this lovely evening. As the other three people have left not much for me, that's the perk of being the first to speak. The thing about Coimbatore is it has all the potential of a metro city, all the amenities of a metro city. The metro is also soon going to be there in Coimbatore. The plans are all in place. So it has every potential, as all three have mentioned about it. And the other thing to mention, since I am from the hospitality industry, it's more into tourism as well. You all might have seen as Adiyogi being a popular destination, Sirvani being another popular destination which is booming right now. And we have pilgrim centers and much more which connects to Ooty, Kunnur and Kotagiri. So it's much more a bigger investment side on the tourism as well. So that's about Coimbatore, much more as they have said it. So I've just done the hospitality part. Apart from that, Kovaipudur is the next destination in Coimbatore, which I would say, because all the eastern parts and other things has been saturated and much more investments have been happening over there. This is I would say, more like a right time to invest in Kovaipudur because the western part is just developing at the moment. So it would be a nice time to invest in Kovaipudur to see much more of the amenities which is in the other parts of Coimbatore will soon be upcoming in Kovaipudur. That's my take about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Raaghav. Now we get to specifics now. Raaghav, we start off with you. Okay, this question is to you directly. Now see, Raaghav, there is a new Coimbatore. Both Junaith and you were also making a reference to it. Can you put it in short about the new master plan that has been released by the Tamil Nadu government? What does it indicate? What does this master plan indicate?
So, like we discussed, like I was discussing earlier, this is a GIS-based master plan out of 200 different master plans being created in Tamil Nadu. This is one of the foremost master plans released by the government. We've been working formally on that master plan for the past 3 years, and finally it has been released by the Tamil Nadu government. And few key points. It is a huge report, but few key points which like first-time home buyers or investors or developer would be interested in is So from 1,200 square kilometer, it has got expanded to 1,536 square kilometers. So all the peri-urban fringes of Coimbatore have been attached to the master plan from the north spoke, eastern spoke, western spoke, and the southern spoke. So for example, Kovaipudur was on the peri-urban fringe, is being attached to the main core of the city, and almost like 147 kilometer of metro is being aligned with the grid of transit-oriented mechanism. And the unique aspect of the proposed and the new master plan of 2041, where we are talking about a radial expansion grid, just like how Chandigarh, the new Delhi master plan was envisioned. Tamil Nadu government was very keen on bringing that, joining the mist linked roads. So the principal secretary and the chief secretary was very, very interested to bring that radial network and connecting all the dots. So there is Western Ring Road and the Western Bypass connecting from Madukarai to Mettupalayam Road, and then the Eastern from Mettupalayam Road again to the airport. You have a circular system connecting all the dots, and that makes the traffic congestion reduced by 40%. So for example, you're coming from Palakkad and you have to reach Ooty, you take the Western bypass, you save your time by less than 1 hour, because you don't enter the city. You touch the fringe and you go to Ooty. And when you have to come from Ooty to the airport, which most of the celebrities and the governor, the chief minister, they use the outer eastern the ring road. So the western and the eastern has made it possible through this master plan. And like we pointed earlier, the western bypass has already started, and it is almost in the the verge of opening by in a few months. Almost 11.8 kilometers is done as per now. There are one or two, three culverts which are pending. So as per the PWD ministers who is taking care of the highways department as well, in few months they are trying to close it. And to be rightly said, it is going through one of the Seven Hills project as well. So that is part of the master plan. And if I have to connect a master plan with Kovaipudur, Kovaipudur is identified as one of the green growth urban nodes among the others, like Verapatti, Kovaipudur, Pannimadai. These are all three urban green nodes, which is rare to find within a corporation limit of a city, which is quite occupied on the eastern sector. So if you divide Coimbatore into 4 sectors, east, north, south and west, the east is quite high in density. And for example, if you have to take a particular neighborhood, Vilangurchi is so saturated because of the IT sector. So Kovaipudur has that scope for development, and it has less dense pockets. And of late and post-COVID, people are going towards connected, secluded spots. So that is something, there's a change in trend. People don't prefer apartments in the city center and buy plots and go towards connected seclusion. So we have connectivity, we have the metro which is coming till Ukkadam. From Ukkadam it is just 15 minutes to Kovaipudur, and we are designing the Ukkadam terminal as well. So the Ukkadam terminal is of 20 crores in value, and there are 2 terminals which are going to be proposed. The first terminal is going to connect Palakkad and Kerala. The second terminal is going to connect Pollachi and other districts in and around Coimbatore. And that terminal is going to be connected with the metro as well. So you will have a transit hub in Ukkadam, and from Ukkadam, a 15-minute drive would be Kovaipudur. And the link road which connects Kovaipudur to Madukarai is also proposed by Coimbatore Corporation. So the missing link roads from Kovaipudur to Kunyamutur and from Kovaipudur to Madukarai, these are all getting connected in the master plan document as well. And identified as a green growth urban node helps to conserve the biodiversity. This is something which we tend to miss when there is rapid urbanization. There are a lot of wetlands which are missed in Chennai. There is so much of flood, and something identical which other parts of Coimbatore does not have is the topography of Kovaipudur, which is in a high altitude. So the flooding issue like for example, when we see like Wayanad, when we see Chennai, there are a lot of wetlands being encroached. And this particular master plan document, all these are all documented on GIS based. So there is a geographic system and there is a geographic file coordinated with the Google Earth and the satellite imagery where we can't encroach the wetland. So you're going to have the microclimate which is 5 degrees lesser than the rest of Coimbatore. You're going to have a higher altitude where there's going to be flood. And the biodiversity, like rightly said, it is going to be preserved and conserved. So I think these are all the key points of the 2041 master plan, which to be highlighting Kovaipudur, these are the highlights of a neighborhood which is going to be planned. There's not going to be like an unorganized development happening on Kovaipudur where you don't lose the character of the fabric, the road pattern, and the western bypass road which connects all the missing link roads, which creates the the right set for potential homeowners and senior investors and senior buyers who would like to retire in. I think this sums up the question what you asked for.
Yeah, in fact, we'll get back to that again in the next round of questions. We'll get to details which you were just talking about, specifically about that
Sure.
sustainable kind of thing. Now, always we need to remember that Kovaipudur is the developing area of Coimbatore, not to forget that at all. So maybe a question to you, Sujatha, and this is about how big a destination is Coimbatore for branded retail? How big a destination is it?
How big a destination? I would answer it like this: from fabric to fashion retail ecosystem, everything is there, right? Because it is supposed to be a textile destination, and now organized retail destination with malls opening up, mini malls opening up, so many micro markets opening up. Recently, Starbucks opened in Brookfields. They have probably 2 more Starbucks just 2 kilometers away, right? So it's definitely a destination for pan-India brands, global brands, and even the local brands which want to make a mark. And it is expanding. Now with Araspuram, and they are evergreen retail destinations. For example, Araspuram, Avinashi Road, are evergreen retail destination. The next retail corridor development is actually happening right now in Vadavalli, Tudulur, Kalapatti, Sati Road. And the next is going to be Kovaipudur. So, yes, it's a huge potential.
You, Bala, here, again with regard to Coimbatore again, see, we often say that the way people consume and experience food has changed. It's not like it was before. So communal dining spaces, restaurants, pubs, all those things are now considered to be focal points of urban development. And how has Coimbatore's food culture or its landscape changed down the years?
Yes, sir. As you said, the food market in Coimbatore is really big in terms of cafes, restaurants, and people want to try a lot of new things in food and the hospitality industry. So especially I would say that post-COVID, there's been a drastic improvement where nobody imagined that Coimbatore is capable of selling so much food to all people in and around Coimbatore. Because the variety of vegetarian has also improved in Coimbatore, I would say right now. Earlier it was more of the non-veg thing. During the COVID, if you see, the shawarma and biryani was the highest selling ever in Coimbatore, I would say. The non-veg food was so much impacted on the COVID procedure. Suppose that vegetarian options has evolved a lot. So even earlier, if you see, even there are still a lot of non-veg restaurants in exclusive non-veg restaurants in Coimbatore. But now if you see, you can find a lot of veg restaurants as well, which is all right now in the eastern side of Coimbatore. I would say Araspuram, Sai Baba Colony and thing. So right now, Kovaipudur also has that potential. If somebody designs a proper menu for vegetarian, there are a lot of vegetarian people who love to try new food in and around Coimbatore. So the food impact is really high. Yes, please.
Are you taking questions at this point?
Yeah, not now, at the end.
We will. Please give us some more time. We will be taking questions. Thank you. So yes, as I was saying that the food market is really playing a vital role, and especially in the non-veg part, it's going much better in the non-veg menu over there. So the restaurant business in the hospital sector is booming, and it has very much boomed after the COVID the thing which had happened.
Now, from a young from there, we will definitely have these questions at the end of the session. Let the speakers actually give you all an idea about what is happening around. And there's one allied question here, because you talked about those non-vegetarian restaurants. Are they from Kerala, most of them?
Yes, that has been Kerala has always been a strong backbone in the hospitality industry. It's not only the non-veg part which Kerala are there. Right from a simple bakery to a multi-cuisine restaurant, we do have a lot of Keralites as investors, as entrepreneurs, who are a backbone for Coimbatore as well.
Junaith, it's now to you now, because you have already started some kind of development in Kovaipudur. So you have listened to some of those sectors here. The master plan is there, retail branding is there, a little bit of food is there. We are coming to other sectors too. But based on this, my question to you is, what are the sectors that can trigger growth in Kovaipudur, apart from what they are trying to tell you? Yeah. They've already told you something, but apart from that, what do you think? Yeah.
So, apart from that, I will definitely come in. But before that, like I heard Sujatha, and I'm very much gung-ho about that segment, the retail. Because we can see, you see a lot of people from Palghat come to Brookfields Mall actually. So, I think they travel all the way to, that's in Avinash, it's a Brookfield Mall is close to Araspuram. So, this is at least 30-45 minutes, it will save time for them to come to Kovaipudur and have a mall experience and go back. And the way going back is full of restaurants and all that. So they can spend a good weekend on that morning to evening on that road itself. So it's a very good, retail is definitely an double tick for that. And retirement segment is going to be very huge because, see, first of all, Coimbatore weather itself is very good. It doesn't cross 32 degrees and all that. And Kovaipudur is even chiller. It is 2 degrees lesser. And during Kerala monsoon, it gets the best of it. It doesn't rain like Kerala, but it gets a very beautiful weather there. Recently, we have incidentally, we own 700 acres in Kovaipudur, and it's called G Square Seminal City. And we are developing that land actually. So we are very much part of Kovaipudur. And so what all can come in there? Definitely retail mall can come in there. Retirement is going to be a very big community, and Coimbatore is known for a retirement town actually. Lot of people, Raaghav has also mentioned, people as far as Delhi and all that, many South Indians, they want to make, even though their native could be Chennai or anywhere, but they want to come and settle in Coimbatore because of weather, the cost of, even still it is affordable when compared to major metros, land prices and all that. So retirement is another major thing. Kovaipudur as such doesn't have any big name of hospital as such inside Kovaipudur. So I think that also could be a hospital can come in even within our place. We are also talking to bring in an hospital. And for all this, you need to create a job has to be created, and people has to, it is always better, people live there and they make their livelihood there itself. So what we, actually in the 700 acres, 400 acres is plotted, which will be selling as plots, will be selling as signature villas and all that. Balance 300 acres is what we are planning to develop. So in this 400 acres, people to live there, what will be the livelihood here? So we are planning to bring in GCC, Global Capability Center. We are in talks with very big names to bring in GCC centers. Some very big names have told we will take 25 acres, we'll take 50 acres. And taking 25 acres means that they are going to put 10,000 seats actually. So that is what, such is the scale what they talk. So retirement homes. And secondly, it touched upon the Isha Yoga thing. It's not, Isha Yoga is one thing. And in 5 kilometers distance, you have this Marudamalai temple, I think. And there is 184 feet that statue is going to come there. Tallest statue of Murugan is going to come there. And you have an 2,000-year-old temple called Perur Patishwara temple created during Chola dynasty. So there is again, it's going to be a temple circuit also. If you plan well, somebody can come from Kerala, somebody can come from Bangalore and all that, they can do this temple circuit also, where which is all 5 kilometers in radius to this G Square 7 Hill city, Coimbatore per se. And apart from that, you currently, okay, on this GCC front, why we feel it will, IT Park and GCC can move to the western side of the city, because the other side, which is close to the airport, Kalapatti side, is already choked. I think there is, yesterday, 2 days back also, we had a similar seminar. The vacancy is hardly anything, because, and from 5 million square feet of IT occupancy, Coimbatore has gone to 10 million square feet, it seems. In 2-3 years, it has doubled. So there is a huge IT space requirement is there. So that's the reason government is coming up an Elcott IT park close to Bharatiyar University, which is again 4-5 kilometers from Kovaipudur. And this Western Ring Road, what everyone was talking, Raaghav was also talking, which will definitely reduce the travel time now to Ooty, to Mysore and Bangalore and so on actually. So that is again cutting across the G Square 7 Hill city. So Kovaipudur is close to 2,000 acres, out of which almost 700 acres we are owning. So our development will mean that Kovaipudur is also developing properly. So we know it has to be sustainably developed, properly developed, livelihood has to be created, all social infrastructure has to be in place. So we are talking with many master developers, including Raaghav. We are in this process. So that also will happen. So I think these are the major thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Junaith. And this actually brings me to you, Sujatha, once again, because he was talking about the retail part of it, and we talked about Coimbatore. Now, specifically to Kovaipudur now, do you see space and scope for branded retail in Kovaipudur? And one more. My information from the kind of little bit of inquiry that I did about that place, I found that one thing that Kovaipudur actually needs are entertainment centers, like theaters. Your take about it.
Okay, firstly, Kovaipudur is a very well spaced out, there's a lot of space, and right now it's considered to be very serene environment and a place where SEC A plus and B socioeconomic sector people are settled, more or less, right? That is one, in terms of demographics. With retail expansion, with real estate expansion that is being spoken about and that's happening as we talk, retail expansion follows, which means there'll be hypermarkets, there'll be smaller mom and pop stores, and with all these organized retails that follow, there'll be malls that follow. So that's the general pattern that happens. So even now I feel that there is a scope for a mini mall there of 15,000 to 30,000 square feet because you have those takers and the accessibility is great right now from Kovaipudur to the city center and all across. And one thing that drives retail is definitely location, which is accessibility. Second, relevance, which is very important. And third is experience. Now, what's new there to experience in Kovaipudur? Right? And that is where I think that's a master plan in making. That is where the retail synergy is going to match as well with the growing population. So yeah, again, when I talk about experience, it's the entertainment as well. In marketing, in retail, when we talk about experiential marketing, the fact that you visit a shopping mall, the fact that you enter a retail outlet itself is an experience. Each retail outlet, each shopping mall gives you a very different experience. So yes, we are looking at an entertainment zone. Like I said, it is gradual. Once the hypermarkets come in, once the organized retail come in, the mall comes in, and entertainment is not far behind. You will have definitely PVR and the other multiplex coming in, along with even the mini malls. In fact, along with the mini malls and gaming centers. So they are called FECs, Family Entertainment Centers. They are on huge surge right now. So there's a lot of scope for that, definitely. In fact, even now.
Connected to this, Raaghav, it is, because you were just hinting about this, but I think this needs to a little bit of elaboration part of it. Because we were talking about Kovaipudur, can it become a departure? Can it become a departure from the existing patterns of settlements that we see, or the growth that we see? Because you were talking about the ecosystem that Kovaipudur has, its scenery, the open spaces, greenery, and all that. So, can it be turned into a settlement or an area with a particular identity of its own, and perhaps with a well-ordered matrix, as you call it, can this be turned into that? Because this is one chance we get. Because it's not like just simple expansion. You get a chance to really plan it out now. And you've got a master plan there. How much of space will be given to open spaces, greenery and such kind of stuff? Though you have only about 2,000 acres or something like that. So how is that going to be planned?
As a master plan, I don't think we can go into the micro detailing of it. So it comes in the detailed DD plans. But what in the GIS master plan is being done is, like I said, that wetlands and the biodiversity is being demarcated. So there won't be encroachments or so. But touching upon the social infra, that is the social infrastructure of Coimbatore, it has seen a vast development for the past 5 years. And there are around almost 8 lakes under the smart city development under central government and the state government partnership that has been developed. And that has changed the social infra scenario of Coimbatore, where, until that, the experience like, Ms. Sujatha was addressing, it was to malls or to indoor spaces. And after the lakes were developed, there's a beautiful phenomena of people spending time on outdoors. As families, people want to go spend time on the lakes, have a walk in the morning. Each neighborhood, like around these 8 lakes, have changed. And Kovaipudur also has few water bodies. I think once, there are developments and neighborhoods, people coming, Coimbatore Corporation would take over these lakes and develop beautiful infra around that. That creates life. And once the social infra is into place, that creates experience. And like when I stay near the one of the lakes in Coimbatore, and I see people are thronging to that particular lake from 4 a.m. in the morning, and for walks, and until 10 p.m. And like one of my students says that that brings him to study in Coimbatore. Where I teach as an architectural professor and urban planning, and they say they love Coimbatore because of the food, like you were saying, from Kerala, and the second thing was the social infra, and there is a change in trend which I think he was addressing, Bala was addressing about. There are so many resto bars as well, which are coming up in Coimbatore, which was not there 3-4 years back, pre-COVID, or even 2 years back. And right now we see that trend where we go for a family and then have a drink, and then the entire scenario has changed, where we have live music and all that. So that is the kind of scenario what is happening. But in terms of social infrastructure which you had been addressing, there is potential in Kovaipudur because the density is sparse now, and there is scope for planning to have as a plug-in to the existing infrastructure, which like for example, if there are developers who are interested to develop healthcare or to develop malls or to develop like lakes, there is kind of that scope in Kovaipudur especially, which the eastern or northern or even the southern is lacking. This brings a thought that as urban planners or city planners, we should also focus on creating that social infra in developing neighborhoods.
We are running short of time, so we'll have to finish off very quickly. So quick questions to all of your rapid fire questions and rapid fire answers perhaps. Bala, just to you. Now you're talking about restaurants, eateries and all that, okay. And Kovaiputur's scope for branded food outlets, one, and along with that, food aggregators, and the last one is this quick commerce delivery together.
Yes, as I said, the Kovaipudur, it still has potential for new branded outlets to come in, such as we talk about the pizzas, the fried chicken and everything. There's still potential because it's just up to Kunimutur is where the stop is before Kovaipudur. So once Kunimutur is completely occupied, the next step is occupying Kovaipudur. That's where all the branded outlets have the scope of coming in. So that's about, it has a huge potential because Kunimutur, from right, as Mr. Raaghav was saying, there are a few natural lakes which is in Ukkadam, where people from Kovaipudur, Madukkarai and Koimbatore travel to that Ukkadam, and which Ukkadam, by the way, has become very easy accessible because there's a complete flyover constructed recently and is open completely to access the city. Since Kovaipudur is near to Madukkarai, which accesses the Palakkad highway. So people travel to Ukkadam for retail food stores. So there are also quite at least some 7,000 to 8,000 families at the moment in Kovaipudur who travel to Ukkadam, Koimbatore and till the city for branded foods. So right now, since Koimbatore is completely occupied, the next destination is Kovaipudur. So it has a huge scope for branded food outlets over there. In terms of commerce where people food delivery, it's still not yet started in Kovaipudur. So again, people who deliver food or groceries or whatsoever, they do it in the eastern side of Coimbatore. It's yet to come in Kovaipudur. So that's a huge opportunity when people invest in branded groceries and branded food whatsoever, which we get it through online orders. That again has a huge scope in Kovaipudur because right now it's still Ukkadam. After Ukkadam, the western side, they are just coming in one by one. So very soon that thing will be there.
Sujatha, quickly to you, another one. And this is Coimbatore being a textile hub, as everybody talked about it. Now, the question is very clear, straight and direct. Do you see space in Kovaipudur for fashion designer studios, boutiques, and such kind of things? Not the traditional ones, but perhaps the designer kind of wear, which is becoming so trendy these days.
Yes, definitely, because the kind of demographics it has, the socio-economic sector that's currently there and that's going to grow, definitely a lot of boutiques and a lot of signature retail outlets can come, which could be local, which could be pan-India or even global.
You feel that they'll definitely come up very soon there?
Definitely, definitely.
Not the traditional ones that we're talking about, not
Yes.
the cotton and the traditional.
The customized boutiques,
that
yes,
kind
yes,
of
definitely.
They'll come up.
Yes, yes.
And now to you, Junaith, this question is in very short. Can you tell us how you're envisaging Kovaipudur in the next 5 years?
Yeah. So yeah, before getting into Kovaipudur, I just before coming into the venue, when I met friends from Hindu Chennai, they were saying this Coimbatore Unlimited. One version was started with G Square. That was a project at L&T bypass. So that time it's a project called G Square City. So that was related to that. So we planned that project. It's a 300-acre township. It was 2 years back. We launched that project and it is completely developed and it's fully sold out. And when we started, it was almost, it was on the bypass actually. So it also had a lot of advantages like we talk now. And we launched at 6.5 lakhs. Now it is getting sold at 13-14 lakhs actually. And a lot of houses have come in. The quality of roads inside and all the facilities there are beautiful actually. So your question, no, like how we are planning to develop this in 5 years is definitely will take that route only. So first is sustainability. Like Raaghav was mentioning in the master plan. I also just had a glance of the master plan. It talks about 33% green area actually. So currently out of the 700 acres, 400 acres is plotted. In that 200 acres is only saleable. So we have already given 50 acres as an open area in the plotted. So another 300 acres is there. So definitely we are planning, we are going to definitely have a master plan for that 700 acres totally. So and we'll have a very, very sustainable development. As I told you, we are planning for an GCC IT park. We are planning for a 5-star hotel. We are planning for a convention center, and we are planning for a retirement home because it can accommodate all of this. And it should have an hospital, a very good branded hospital inside, and all that at a very, very sustainable thing. And with all these developments happening around, and with this IT parks all coming in, we are very sure within 5 years it will boom like anything.
Oh, that's great. And before I give my concluding remarks, I would like the audience to. We have got time for 4 questions, but please, the request is, let it be straightforward questions and not opinions and statements. Let it be in the form of a question, and please say to whom you want to ask those questions amongst the panelists. Please, give the mic.
Good evening, one and all. I am Arun Kumar, representing I2Z India to Green. My question is to Mr. Raaghav. My experience with Coimbatore, when I shifted from Chennai to Coimbatore, where I was owning 2 air conditioners which I shifted and I sold it back in 2010. Within 2 years, I bought the new air conditioners because of the urbanization, cutting of trees, all those stuff. As you said in the master plan, where the ecosystem, biodiversity, everything has been maintained. In Kovaipudur, whereas the wetlands, everything has been totally maintained. But the umbrella effect of the other parts of the Coimbatore will have an effect on the Kovaipudur. How is that it's been taken care so that the other part of the Coimbatore is also taken care with this biodiversity and ecosystem? Thank you.
That is actually true. I have been in Coimbatore for 35 years and I agree with you. It used to be a mini Ooty where we had pure Sirvani water, which is the world's second sweetest water. Now I realize the value of it, and it had trees, and the microclimate is changed in Coimbatore. I agree to that. But unlike other cities, it's just 1 month where we have to use air conditioner. I think the summer starts from April, May, and it ends in June because the Kerala monsoon hits the fringe of Coimbatore, and especially in Kovaipudur, to address your question, it's on the leeward side of Palakkad bypass and the Western Ghats. So what happens is that there is always showers, and the cloud and the altitude makes it 3 degrees lesser only. So the microclimate is not going to be having a cascade effect from the central fringe. So there's going to be Western Ghats which are going to guard it. And the rules and the policies of the government are made in such a way that the wetlands especially are not to be developed as residential layouts nor agriculture. You can do just agriculture but not anything else apart from agriculture. And if there are water bodies, they are already demarcated on the GIS-based master plan, which cannot be changed by I think any third person. And it is being also documented by the government. So this is being taken place. Already it is set for having a good microclimate. But just in case, if there are proposals by the central government or the state government to have just like the smart city development in Kovaipudur, it will have even much better social infra, and the microclimate can be much better. And Junaith was saying, 10% to 20% is almost green cover, and almost in 700 acres development. And I've seen that personally, the master plan. So when 30% to 40% of it is already green cover, I don't think there would be a change in the microclimate if it is being preserved and conserved. I personally, as a planner, promote reducing the microclimate through afforestation and to conserve, the water bodies. And I always tell my planning students as well that we have to design cities in a way that not to just live. We should design cities in a way where we can retire in. So that is the propaganda we always try to spread. And I think to address Kovaipudur has that quality. If you see during, I think last month I was there, you see the clouds being engulfing the entire community. You feel like you float across clouds. So that is something which is, we don't find that in Pilamedu, Kalapatti, Saranapatti, where it is like you said, it is urbanized, unorganized urbanization has happened. But this master plan is to control that urbanization. We have demarcated residential, they have demarcated proper industrial buffer, they have demarcated agricultural land. Even within the corporation now they have demarcated a lot of agricultural land which cannot be again changed for the next 20 years. So the government has taken care of that.
Yes, yeah. Before I switch on to my questions, let me capture some words from the panelists. Starting from the moderator. Moderator Sureshji was talking about the urban renewal and corridor. He was talking about transformation. Raaghav, GCC, Madam on the ecosystem, cosmopolitan, retail brand provision. Now let me come to the question. How well you as G Square holding 35% of ecosystem can collaborate with us from the European Union to set up an ecosystem in the hardware knowledge park? Somebody was saying, I think MSME is growing in Coimbatore. I think sir was talking. how well we can come up with an ecosystem through cross-border mechanism to collaborate with the European Union, where we are in the key. I am representing India, for a hardware knowledge park ecosystem where FDI can be brought in, employment and employability can be explored through cross-border bilateral means. Who can take up, and how G Square can play a key role in setting up an SPV with the government of Tamil Nadu.
It's an interesting thought. Definitely, it's a good idea. Like as I told, no, like when we develop that land, when we look for living, also we need to develop the livelihood also. So definitely on this, we can have a discussion on that. We can take it forward. So it's a very good thought. We can definitely discuss.
So somebody else wants to add to it here, Raaghav.
Yeah, but Coimbatore is going in that sector where, especially on the western fringe, there is a high rental yield because it is becoming an education hub. And hostels are coming up, and you see Airbnb is also growing. And right now we are having almost, in our studio itself, we are having around, I think, 6 to 7 projects on the western fringe, where co-living and hostel space is being taken over. Previously, clients used to come us to design apartments where they would like to have rental yield or to sell it off, and promoters would be focusing on that. But I think 2 days back we had a client who owns land in near Kovaipudur, wants to develop hostel cum co-living. So they either lease it to, and they have a collaboration with a third party or an NGO or with someone who can maintain that and run it, or they have a win-win situation of sharing the profits. So that being said, I think it has like 35% of the land which they hold, and there is other 70% of land where you can develop IT parks in healthcare, and you can bring the workforce. And like we were having a discussion before the meeting. GCs are also interested in setting up in Kovaipudur, where there is a fiber network already enabled, and you have the infra set up in Kovaipudur. That encourages GCC companies to settle down and select Kovaipudur, where when you have an IT park or a GCC, you need the housing infra to support that. So you should go hand in hand. Just like one of our collectors said, Kinatagadavu is something on the south where there is a lot of industries happening. So there we selected the blue collar housing. So that is something where we develop the housing projects next to industries. So the industries develop the housing sector. So they provide their own housing for manpower, and they keep it in such a way that it is within 3-kilometer radius, and it becomes a self-sufficient community, right? So that level of scope is there in Kovaipudur, and I think it is a good thought as well to work on.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Yeah. My question is into 3 basic segments, actually, to 3 different people. Firstly, I'll start with Raaghav. So this is regarding the zero waste. You actually spoke about sustainability and making environmental impact and everything, right? So do you think the average citizen is open to paying for eco-conscious products and services, or is it still pricey? And price being the top priority in Coimbatore, like will people think before going eco-conscious or having a zero waste living in Coimbatore? And how can we entrepreneurs make an impact and make Coimbatore like a zero waste living, or bring that culture there?
Maybe that's one question, ma'am. Please give a chance to somebody else too. If you have 3 questions, 3 panelists answers, it becomes such a lot of time. Yeah, so that question is to Raaghav. Yeah. Okay, Raaghav, it's to you.
That is actually the vision of all the commissioners who come to Coimbatore, right? And the people of Coimbatore as well. Where I recently visited Indore, and that is one of the clean cities in. We have to appreciate all the governing bodies and the people as well. Indore is one of the best cities as a role model for Coimbatore. And we are closely working with the commissioner as well. We are working on a lot of aspects to reduce the waste and to make it zero waste. Start from segregation to having management facilities, to have biomining, and a lot of things are going behind that. But Kovaipudur, I think, in terms of cost, I think it is 30% cheaper than Kalapati or And so price is not the factor for people to choose, Kovaipudur, because it is already 30% cheaper. It is growing now. And I missed buying a property in L&T bypass. I regret because it was next to us, and it was, I think, 6 lakhs. It was 6.5 lakhs, and now it is 13. I don't know how much it is going to go from now to the next 3 years, because the Western bypass, once it takes over. Today I read an article on, I think, today or yesterday, I don't know. I read an article while traveling. It says that, landowners who own land in Kovaipudur are going to, raise the real estate price once the Western bypass is going to, start functioning. It's going to go from 10 to 15 to 16 lakhs in the next 3 months. Who would not want to, have, a return of investment from, from 10 lakhs to 16 lakhs in 3 months? I would not miss that opportunity, right? So if I would be you and I have land, I would not sell it now, and I would sell after the Western bypass is over. If they are selling land, I would invest in land and I would buy it and sell it back after the Western bypass is over. So that is the kind of, consciousness what people are, having now. And people are moving towards this eco-sensitive, not just in land. In the products what they buy, in the retail industry, it is changing from inorganic to organic. From the way we live, they're all, like 10 years back it was in Bangalore, then it came to Chennai, and now it has come to Coimbatore, where what we eat, we choose and eat, right? We don't eat anymore, like, for example, my friends, they don't choose to eat white. They're going towards organic food, they're going towards organic lifestyle. Like, we had a client from Uttarakhand who wants to design an eco-friendly house. And an eco-friendly house, like in Kerala, in Trivandrum, we have eco-friendly house very famous, but I think in Coimbatore it is becoming a trend now. Lot of people are coming here to choose eco-friendly houses, and I think if you have to choose inside the city a eco-friendly house, I think Kovaipudur is something which we can build looking at the mountains. So I think it answers all the 3 aspects which you addressed.
See, actually we are running out of time. We wanted to take one more question, but then sorry for that, because we're really short of time. And so let me just finish off quickly with this conclusion part of it. I'm not from Coimbatore. The panelists, all of them know Coimbatore so well. And some of the people from the audience also know. They've been staying there in Coimbatore too. So when I conclude this from what I've listened to and what I've learned from them, I feel that the character of a city, any city, especially Coimbatore in this particular case, is often reflected in the demographic growth that has occurred, as well as the nature of the urban economy. 2 things, urban economy and the demographic growth. This city, that is Coimbatore, with its inherent strengths and infrastructural developments, have helped make a very strong presence on the international map. We know that. There is massive potential even now for development because it's got land and it's spreading. And there is a visible shift, as most of the panelists said, from these MSMEs to technology-driven companies now. We talk about the GCC and all those kind of things. And Coimbatore is very soon and very fast getting national and international investments. They also talked about that, how recently all these people came in. Kovaipudur, as you all must have now realized, you must have now understood, has huge potential for investment. And I think, from what I've heard from all of them, there is ample scope for growth in multiple sectors. The sectors are like retail, commercial, hospitality, health, logistics, all these kind of things. And I feel that the spotlight now, Coimbatore is always there, but I think the limelight or the spotlight has now turned towards this new place called Kovaipudur. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, the panelists, Junaith, Raaghav, Sujatha, and Bala. Thank you for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the wonderful session. I now request Mr. Shafiq Rahman, General Manager and Head Events The Hindu, to present the memento for our panelists. Firstly, to Mr. Junaith Babu, Chief Operating Officer, G Square. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much, Mr. Junaith. Next to Mr. Savio Matthew, Head FICCI, Kerala State Council. Can we have him on the stage, please? With big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Savio Matthew onto the stage. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. I now request Mr. Satish, Assistant General Manager, Events and Ideations, to come on stage. A big round of applause for him. He's going to give the memento to Mr. Raaghav. Thank you so much. And to Ms. Sujatha. Thank you so much for the wonderful participation. Thank you. I now call upon Mr. Ansari, Senior Manager Advertisement Sales, The Hindu, Kochi, to come onto the stage. A big round of applause for him. He's going to present the memento to Mr. Balakrishna. A big round of applause to him. And to Mr. K. Pradeep. Please take the center stage, sir. Thank you for being a wonderful moderator for the day, sir. Thank you all for joining us for this wonderful session. Thank you all once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program. We invite you to join us for the dinner and cocktails that's been provided. Thank you once again. See you all in yet another program. This is Deepthi signing off. Bye-bye. Thank you.